Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of social media and digital marketing news for small business. You're very welcome. What a lovely day it is here in Ireland. And if you know somebody that will be interested in knowing the digital marketing and social media news this week, do click the share button underneath, because of course you can share. Hey Kate, thanks for joining. You can share it on your Facebook page, you could share it in your Facebook group, you could share it by direct message. If you know anyone that would like to join in, do let them know. And as this is the Digital Coffee, this is the Digital Coffee because this is time for you. Morning Ema, thanks for joining. This is time for you to sit down and grab a cuppa. It's traditional for you to tell me what you're drinking. I've got my second cup of tea today. Hey Sinead, first day you're not working so you can watch. It's great to have you back. I am drinking cut tea out of one of my Blog Awards mugs that we got on a goodie bag in the Blog Awards many years ago. It's a long time since I've had this mug out, so what have you got? Tea, coffee, hot chocolate, or if you're watching from somewhere a little bit more interesting, have you got something a bit harder? I'd love to know. Let me grab my first coffee. A bit slow this morning. You know what, this morning seemed to... I decided that I needed to change something in some project I'm running at the moment, you know, at the most ridiculous time. So I was well behind schedule today. I'm surprised I got my whiteboard drawn, to be honest. That's never happened before. You're not even out of bed. Oh, I am a little bit envious at that. I'm an oddball. Hot water. Fiona, that's good. And welcome. I don't think you've joined us before. Hot water is good. Apparently it's very good for you. Maybe a little squeeze of lemon in there as well. I hear it's a great detox. Maybe I need that. As you can hear, my voice is back today. And Kate has tea. I think it's a very cup of tea morning. I am going to go for a double espresso after we finish today. So just let me grab my notes. Here we go. I've got a brief run through of the news today. Here's my whiteboard. And oh, I'm holding too many things. We've got some updates to Tweetdeck. We've got Ema, I think you mentioned you're using Google Allo. We've got something cool that Google Allo is doing that I haven't been able to write. The postman's here. The postman's here. No, it's all right. He's just going to put it through the door. There's something new that's coming for Google Allo. In fact, if you have an Android device, you'll already have this. I think it's really cool. We've got some Facebook updates for live and for your news feed. We've got, of course, Instagram face filters. Is this going to be the end for Snapchat? We've got, I've lost my place now. We've got Google Smart Reply for Gmail, which again, it's really handy feature if you manage your email on the go like I do. I think this is going to be cool. Twitter updated their privacy policy, and something that got me really excited for absolutely no reason yesterday that's happening on YouTube. So let's make a start. Thanks for joining everyone. Okay, where will I start? Looking at my notes. It says I should start with Tweetdeck. Are there any Tweetdeck users out there? Anyone? Give me a thumbs up if you're a Tweetdeck user. I'm not really a Tweetdeck user. I've never been a Tweetdeck user. I remember Tweetdeck back in the day before Twitter owned it. And even then, I wasn't a Tweetdeck user. I do have an account though. I had an account since then, and Twitter bought them and it all went online instead of having to be something I download onto my computer. Sinead loves Tweetdeck. And I tend to jump in and out every now and then because you know what? Tweetdeck has some amazing feature. There's two Sineads who are Tweetdeck users. Well, there you go. I'm glad I'm sharing the news about it then. It does always have the best of Twitter features, and I often wonder why I don't use it more. And I suppose it's because I use so many social media tools. I use Hootsuite, I use Agora Pulse. I'm just wondering why I don't log in, because every time I go there I go, this is pretty cool. They've made a couple of new updates this week. The first one doesn't excite me that much, to be honest. The first one is that you can now choose whether you want animated GIFs to autoplay in your Tweetdeck feed or not, which I know is really handy, but it's not exciting, is it? The second one, on the other hand, is kind of cool. So let me go in here. Did anyone see this? Let me just find that post. This awesome post from Lidl yesterday. If you're not in Ireland, you may have missed it, but apparently, I'm not sure if it's just an Irish story, but apparently young people can't afford houses because they're eating avocado toast, and they were warned they shouldn't be eating avocado toast. So this amazing tweet from Lidl, hats off to them, telling you that you can get, I know Sinead, it was funny, our avocados is only 69 cents, so you can have them on toast and save for a house. I love that. So the cool feature that we've got from Tweetdeck now is that if you see that tweet in the feed, which I did because I retweeted it, you can now click on the 3 little dots underneath it, and you can see, let's see if I can get that in focus, or if you can see that you can see tweets mentioning that tweet. See who quoted this tweet is the thing. And it'll open up a whole new column on the side so you can see exactly who's quoted that tweet. And it was kind of fun to go through it today because I quoted it, of course, because it was hilarious and hilarious. Ha ha ha, that's my emoji of the day. And it was amazing to see all the other people that had as well. So if you are the sort of person that gets a lot of interaction on your tweets, that's going to be a really handy feature. Or even if you want to monitor tweets from competitors that are doing well. For example, if I was Aldi, I would be going through that going, oh, all these people enjoyed, it was a promoted post from Lidl, all these people enjoyed that post from Lidl, let's see if I can target those same people with my own funny meme. I think that's, you know, it could be a really good tool to have. Now I've said that, will I go back? Will I go back to Tweetdeck? Probably not until they change something else. Because as I said, I use so many tools to manage my social media already. It's just on the long finger. But there are so many cool things you can do from Tweetdeck that you can't do anywhere else. If you're not using anything to manage your Twitter account already, I highly recommend taking a look at it. So that's my first bit of news. We will move on to what do we think? Facebook? There's always too much Facebook news, isn't there? I only need to look at my list. Okay. Oh, well, we'll talk about Google Allo. Have been told to set up a Hootsuite account for managing other social media accounts, but sounds like worth using both. You can, as far as I know, Sinead, and other Sinead might know, you can manage multiple accounts now through Tweetdeck. In fact, you can use it a bit like Business Manager on Facebook, so people give you access to their account without you having to have multiple passwords and stuff. I'm not sure if there's a charge for that because, as I said, I don't use it that much. And I tend to, because I don't manage other people's Twitter accounts, I don't really need that aspect of Hootsuite. But it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I'd like to look into that more. If other Sinead knows, Sinead Noonan, or if anyone else there knows if it's possible to add more than one Twitter account to a Tweetdeck, I'm pretty sure it is, but I'd love to know. Okay, Google Allo. There is lots of Google news this week. This is the best effort that I could do on the logo. It's like an orange chat logo because Google Allo is it's a kind of alternative to WhatsApp. I kind of like it, but like I say, I don't know anyone that's using it. So if you use it, buzz me later and we can swap details. So the thing is, you do need to know the phone number of the person you're connecting with. That's how it works, exactly like WhatsApp. But it has lots of other features. Now, I do remember Emma mentioning it before, which was why I brought it up. Now, sadly, because I'm not connected to anyone that I can just have a spurious conversation with on Allo, I don't get to taste many of the features. But I did try this one. I did desperately try this one for ages, and then I realised when I read back and read the article, it's not available for iOS yet, and I'm an iPhone user. What they've done is they've created selfie emojis. So they'll take a photograph of yourself, and it will augment you into kind of an animated version of yourself. It's better than Bitmoji because, you know, you're limited on Bitmoji. You can make it, I mean, if you've got something really quirky, so at the moment I've got red hair, maybe I can make the Bitmoji look a little bit like me, but it's not that accurate. This looks like it's going to be lots more fun. So that's Google Allo stealing Snapchat features. Let's have a quick look at what it looked like. I've just got like the screen grab of this. I was trying to download the GIF and it wasn't working for me. So let me see if I can find it. Here we go. So this is, you start by snapping a selfie of yourself and then it starts creating a character, and then it will, for every emoji that you could have, so we know I love doing my angry emoji, or this has always been my favourite emoji, but now it'll actually create them for you. I think it's really cool. Thing is anyone using Allo? Do people use Allo? Interesting. Okay. Sorry, a direct message came in at the same time, and that kind of distracted me a little bit. That's happened before. It's really strange because I switch off everything else, the direct messages distract me. Okay, let's move on. If you do use Allo, just give me a why. I'm not going to force you to change phone numbers with me, by the way, but it's just interesting to know. I'd love to connect with some people. Right, thirdly is I have 2 bits of Facebook news. You can have multiple Twitter accounts on Tweetdeck, but I use Buffer and SmartQ for other social media accounts like Instagram. So that may be the thing, but as far as I know, there's a limit of the number of social accounts that you can add to Hootsuite before it goes up in price again. So maybe is Tweetdeck free, Sinead, you know? I'd love to know. I should check that out for you and report back next week. I'm just going to break from the news from 1 minute, because last week on this very show, we discovered that none of you, not one of you, knew who the Tornister was. We all know who the Tornister is now, don't we? Frances Fitzgerald. And I was so glad that we found out last week, I can't believe I'm admitting this again, that we're just politically incompetent, that she was possibly up to be Taoiseach. She's going to need to do some work on her branding if she's going to go that way. Okay, moving on. Just thought of you guys when I heard that this week. We've got Facebook Live. Now, I don't know if you've seen these Facebook Lives. Part of me goes, this is really clever. And part of me goes, that's kind of like hacking the news feed. And we know that hacking the news feed, it always backfires on us at some stage. So they've made an update to the Facebook Live API rules, which basically means what you can and can't stream through third-party apps onto Facebook Live. And the problem we've been having is this sort of thing. Have you seen this sort of thing? Billed as a Facebook Live. It's not really live, it's just 2 static pictures. They run it for a very, very long time, and Tweetdeck is free. Thanks, Sinead. You run it for a very, very long time and you get people to vote. So it's kind of cheating the newsfeed. The whole point of Facebook Live is it's me talking to you, talking to me. It's this lovely live atmosphere. I mean, it's taken off on Facebook in a big way, and this sort of thing spoils it. There's also, you can run like, you know, just an image and play pre-recorded stuff over the top of it. I was talking to Andrew and Pete this week, who are going to be appearing on my vlog. If you don't know Andrew and Pete, check them out. And they were discussing whether they'd do something like that. Now, the problem is, this is all hacking the Facebook newsfeed. We know Facebook Live gets extra reach, so how can we exploit that without actually going live? And this is one of the things they were doing. You know, this is from a Galway-based newspaper. I cut the name out so that I wasn't naming and shaming them. And they were exploiting live in order to get extra reach. Facebook are saying, no, we do not like this. This isn't what live is for. And of course, because it's going to ruin the viewing experience for so many people, that they're going to stop watching live. So they are now saying no static images. You cannot have just a static image. No polls like that. There are actually, hey Damien, long time no see. Thanks for joining. There are, you can do polls like I can ask you to like if you want, you know, the ones that I normally do when I'm asking you, do you want a Twitter bit of news or a Facebook news? But like that one I showed you, no, 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 no. And if you are using pre-recorded video, you need to make that distinguishable from the live so people know it's pre-recorded. So I could, for example, if I was going to go all fancy pants on this show, I could hand over to a pre-recorded segment about something. I'd need to make that very clear. The actual phrase that I grabbed from the report was, don't use the API to publish only images. For example, don't publish static, animated or looping images, or to live stream polls associated with unmoving or ambient broadcasts. If you can't interact, what's the point? Exactly, Sinead. That's what I think as well. The real benefit, one of the reasons I still do these shows, because you guys show up every week and I can have a chat with you. So I think this is, I've forgotten to use all my tools this week. So let's give a big thumbs up. You don't like pre-recorded Facebook Lives, you feel cheated. Exactly. And if you feel like that, you're going to less likely to tune in to those Facebook Lives. So well done, Facebook, for noticing the problem and hopefully tackling it. Are you an Allo user, Eleanor? I'd love to know. Right, so we've got some YouTube news. Do you want to know what I got excited about YouTube? Do you want to know the latest Facebook algorithm tweak, which is all to do with clickbait headlines? Do you want to know, you know the Instagram news, but do you want to know a little bit more about that? The Gmail news? What do you fancy? No to Allo, okay. Oh, and there's another bit of Twitter news. Give me a T, a I, a F, a... See, I'm doing a poll now. Look at that. Well, I tell you what I got coming up next. I've got Instagram face filters. G, I've just got a G. Gmail. Okay, those will have to wait. The Gmail news. Now, this is just a cool little feature that they're rolling out for Gmail at the moment, which means they're called smart replies. So you'll get them on your phone. Now, if you're like me, I can't type on my phone. I'm a disaster. I make typos all the time anyway. On my phone, I'm an absolute disaster. It's like I need to go and do the Mavis Beacon course on typing on a mobile phone. And this is why I like this feature from Gmail. Apparently, it's already available in Inbox and Allo. Actually, like I say, I have an Allo account that I don't really use. And what it does is it's going to auto-suggest replies to specific emails that you get. So here's an example. My Apple Watch does this actually. Hey Lottie, how are you? So, here you go. You can see underneath, I wonder can I focus on that? It's always hard to do everything with one hand. Can you see that a bit better now? So here's the email. The original email is, thanks for a great presentation this week. It's to me. Right, it's not to me. I'm joking. Thanks for a great presentation this week. I'd like to follow up on a couple of things. Do you prefer to meet Monday or Tuesday? And the auto replies it gives is, let's do Monday. Monday works for me. Either day works for me. Click. One click of the button. One click of the button, you can respond. So rather than my fat fingers typing, for me it's O and I. O and I. I get them wrong every single time. Instead of my fat fingers typing some sort of gibberish, I'll be able to respond easily. I'm wondering, will I be able to set up some of these myself that I can just click to respond? I kept checking to see if I got it, and then I realised it's only available for Android at the moment, but it will be rolling out to iOS and all users shortly. Okay, onto the Instagram. It is going to be useful, isn't it, Sinead? And it's not, is it just the older generation? I was going to say like me, but we'll just pretend I'm that young person everyone thinks I am. Is it just me? Is it just the older generation that find that typing by... I'm just wondering, I would love to do a course, if anyone knows one, on how to type on a mobile phone. I'm going to give that a love heart for Gmail. Thank you. I can't wait to get it. I'll be even more love hearty once I do. On to then, I have to talk about Instagram. Hi Valerie, thanks for joining. I have to talk about Instagram face filters. Who's looked at Instagram face filters? Give me a... I'm imagining that's Ema saying yes she has. Instagram face filters, right. This is it for Snapchat really, isn't it? I mean, why haven't Instagram invented these before for stories? You can now go in when you're creating an Instagram story and you can have your augmented reality lenses just like you have on Snapchat. You can even be a bunny just like you can on Snapchat. I thought I'd go for the intellectual look. So this is me wearing glasses with one of them. You know, part of me loves it because I don't want to have to go to Snapchat to do these things. On the other hand, poor old Snapchat, you know. Poor old Snapchat. So now basically there's very little difference between the two platforms. There's a little bit of extra features maybe on Snapchat, but you can do everything and more on Instagram. Well, Eleanor says, I tried the glasses filter and looked the same. Eleanor wears glasses, don't you? Don't you? Still can't beat the Snapchat beauty filter. I don't know, look at this. How young do I look? I know what you mean. No, there is that lovely, they do need something as beautiful as that. I just look at this and think I've lost loads of colour in my hair since I took it. So this is, it's nice. I think it's going to bring young people there. If your target market is younger people, this is something you can play with. I don't use Instagram stories much. I don't use Snapchat stories much anymore because they were taking up too much time. If I was targeting that demographic, then maybe I would be moving over there the whole time. I look lovely and young all the time. That's the miracle of me setting up the lens at the right angle. That's all that's going on there. And the brightness filter here. Okay, will it encourage me to use stories more? Probably. In fact, if you're following me on Instagram, I might do one later today because I'm meeting somebody. And we might have a bit of fun with it. Kate, if you're still watching, want to be a bunny? I want to be a bunny. They need a cat filter, really. Okay, some more news then. It's like I need to get my news sheet again because I've got some Twitter news, got the very exciting YouTube news, and there's another bit of Facebook algorithm news. Yeah, Kate, you're a bunny later. You're laughing at me now. She's a bunny later. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to go with whatever's next on my list, unless you have a preference. Do let me know if you have a preference. This is a big, long story, and why? YouTube. Okay, YouTube it is. Two votes for YouTube. That's good, because I was going to get into the boring Facebook news, and we'll leave that for last. The YouTube news is, up until yesterday, you had to have 1,000 followers on YouTube in order to go live from their app. Yesterday something happened. Google are refusing to confirm it, but a lot of people have this feature, and it is now you can go live with as few. The lowest number of followers I've had from people is less than 200 followers on YouTube. You can now go live on YouTube. When you log into the app, it has to be live from the app on your phone. It'll tell you. It'll go, you can now go live from YouTube. And I did this. I'm just hoping that I put it in here. No, I didn't. Let's see if I've got it. I can't believe I didn't put it in here because it's exciting. It's so exciting. I'm just going to check my other images. No, I totally failed to transfer it over to my iPad. Let's just try my photo stream in case it went in there. And no, it didn't. Okay. Well, so you click on, is that due to the drop in YouTube advertisers for vloggers? Well, they did drop the number of people. They did stop advertising for people with under so many views. So I don't know if it's a views thing. So now you can click the button on your live. You can go live. I got really excited, and then I went, right, on Facebook Live, I do this show every week. On Twitter Live, I kind of share what, moments that are happening around me or something I might be a little bit excited about. What am I going to do on YouTube Live? I think if you're an existing YouTuber and YouTube is your main channel, this could be huge. Because when we see, when you log into YouTube, there is all those live streams. It's going to be kind of attractive. If it's cat related, I've seen some live streams with just cats running around. Don't really even watch them, even though I'm the world's biggest cat fan. I'm wondering, is it a little bit too late for YouTube to do this? Or will it take off because there are so many passionate YouTubers out there that will start using it? For me, I don't know. I don't know. Unless I can think of some other sort of live content I want to do, I think I've got enough on my plate already. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. However, you're not supposed to, but you can, if you use a tool, stream to multiple channels at once, which means I could do this show live on YouTube, live on Periscope and live on Facebook at the same time. The problem being I wouldn't be able to keep up with all the comments. What do you think, Lottie? You're a YouTuber. Will you be using YouTube Live? Just going to make sure there's no news I missed about that. Always miss the important things. You have to have a verified account. That's the other thing. It can't just be, doesn't matter It doesn't seem to matter how many followers you have to have a verified account. YouTube are saying they're just rolling it out slowly and testing it. Yeah, it's like you'd need to have 3 cameras set up. Which reminds me, date for your diary, the 23rd of June. This show will be live from the Sage offices in Dublin. And I will be doing a dual broadcast. I'll have this as usual, and we will have Sage going on here. And goodness knows how I'll keep up with the comments, but it'll be fun. Make that date in your diary. I hope you can make that. Okay, on to then the Facebook clickbait news. Now, if any of you, I know a few of you there are bloggers, and headlines are, as I keep telling people, really important. Now, what's going to make people click, or it will just resonate with people? We know people don't even read the news story. They just read the headline. We know this is part of the problem with fake news. People assume they know what's going on. The problem is, because there's such a saturation of content, we're fighting really, really hard to get people to click through to our blogs. And those that go through the dark path use clickbait headlines. So these are things that say, and you'll never guess what happens next. Or, direct from Facebook here, when she looked under her couch and cushions, she saw this, ... Wow! And this is what they call over-exaggerating. You're not allowed to over-exaggerate. Wow! Ginger tea is the secret to everlasting youth. You've got to see this. Angry faces. I can see you love clickbait. So these are clickbait headlines. About a year ago, Facebook added a little bit to their algorithm to combat these. But basically they were looking for headlines that both did that, and you'll never guess what happened yet next, and wow, at the same time. They just updated that. You love clickbait headlines, do you, Kate? Okay. So now they've updated it so that either of those things, rather than both of them combined together, could result in a post getting lower organic reach, or no organic reach, essentially. So be careful with your headlines. The other thing was that they used to ban entire sites. So, and they still do. They're not going to stop that. So, you know, there would be sites out there that perpetually put out those clickbait headlines. If they got scuppered, they would just ban things from that URL altogether, or give lower reach to stuff from that URL altogether. Now they're moving that over to a post by post stage. So if you've never posted a clickbait link before and you post it, there's a good chance they'll pick it up straight away and they'll bring down the organic reach. How will they do that? And this is what's really important for us, because I'm sure none of you are writing clickbait headlines. It's gonna be, now this is just me getting, you don't click on them or use. I know you don't use them, Kate, but they are funny. This is the important bit. You're going to need to be really careful about the words you use. So the word wow, for example, is going to get picked up by the algorithm police, and it might restrict the reach of your post, particularly if it's in capital letters. And if you've got, the got in capital letters could do exactly the same. And this, you never guess what she saw, or you never guess what happened next. We know that Facebook picks up the language that we use in our posts and uses that to determine how much reach things are going to get. So I think we just need to be a little bit more careful in the language you use when we share posts, and in our headlines also. Okay, one more last bit of news then. I think this is the last bit of news. Tune in later for funny Instagram filters. The last bit of news is that Twitter have updated their privacy policy. You probably got a notice of this when you logged in on your mobile phone. I certainly did. And basically, I should probably read what the privacy policy is before I show you the screen grabs. So they used to, you can put a pixel on your site to collect an audience from Twitter. They are also able, Twitter themselves are also able to collect an audience from any site that embeds a tweet. I did not know that. That is interesting. They've always been able to do this, but up until now, wow, I never thought they would do this. I love that, Eleanor, thank you. So up until recently, they would retain that data for 10 days, which wasn't great for advertisers because, you know, you sometimes need, particularly if you're a small business, you'll need a larger window to collect a decent sized audience. They've now updated this to 30 days. So now they're telling us we need to go and update our privacy policies to reflect that. If you put the Twitter pixel on, you'll be able to create a 30-day long audience, which is kind of cool. The other thing we can do, which we've been able to see on Facebook for a long while, is that we can see why ads target us. Now, from a user perspective, you might be going, I don't like that they're collecting this data. I don't like that advertisers are creating us. But from a business perspective, this is great news. Okay, so firstly, I can see how accurate Twitter targeting is, because I've always thought they don't really know anything about me because I've never given them any information. If you want to find out, you need to go in through the mobile app. And it's kind of hidden. Even though I knew it was going to be there, it took me a while to find it. I'm seeing if I can find a first screen. So you go into your privacy, your settings, and then you go into privacy. I didn't screen grab every section of it. You go into privacy, and in privacy you see something like, I'm trying to work out which is the first screen. Personalization and data. This is the screen that you go to, and you scroll right to the bottom of that screen until you see your Twitter. I don't know why I'm saying data, I mean it's data. I live in Ireland. Data. Always mocking Ian Cleary for his however niche. Okay, so you go into that, and then you see, I've gone the wrong way round. So this is the first screen where you click personalization and data. Then you go in, see your Twitter data. Then you go in, and it still doesn't show you. It still doesn't show you. It just shows you all your details. And you'll see there's a tab at the top that does show you data. And when you go into that, you'll see, I'm just looking for another screen grab. So then the first screen will just show you this sort of information. You see, just like the stuff that you know about already. Your Twitter data. And then you can go to interests from Twitter. Okay, so we've gone through at least 5 screens now. It's not that helpful, but it is interesting when you click interest from Twitter to see how people are targeting you. So they've got business news and general info, fair enough. Financial news, government resources, commentary, I'll give it all that. Alternative, but this one, seriously, this one, rugby. Have I ever tweeted about rugby? Have I ever retweeted about rugby? So it's actually not as bad as I thought. It is reasonably accurate. When I went through the whole thing, I could see why it was doing that, apart from rugby, and there were a few other rogue ones there. When I looked at Facebook, it thought I was a parent. So it's actually quite accurate. So this is, although it's really hard to find for us, it's good news for advertisers. I'm over time. Just one more reminder that if you know somebody that would enjoy this show, please click the share button and share it. You could share it in your group, on a Facebook page, you could share it on your personal profile, you could just send it to someone by direct message. But it's great to get new people here. Bye from other Sinead. No, Sinead, yeah, I know. You're Sinead and other Sinead, whoever's talking first. You can get reminders of this show by signing up at spiderworking.com/Facebook Live. Have a good weekend to you too, Sinead, and everyone else. Have an amazing weekend. Hopefully this sunshine is going to stay with us. Thank you for joining me. I will see you here next week, 9:30 a.m. Until then, bye-bye.